Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NAIOP Colorado Awards of Achievement. Please welcome your 2021 Chapter President, Tyler Carlson.
Hello and welcome to the 34th Annual NAIOP Colorado Awards of Achievement, where we take time to recognize the significant accomplishments of our peers during the past year. My name is Tyler Carlson, Managing Partner of Evergreen Development, and I have the honor of being the Colorado Chapter President for 2021. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us, because it goes without saying that 2020 is a year that most of us would really like to forget. However, during this most challenging year, NAIOP members still made it happen despite many obstacles. So it's only appropriate that we celebrate these accomplishments. As you'll recall, 2020 started out innocently enough. The economy was on fire, Colorado ski season was definitely solid, and the election never ceased to entertain. And oh yeah, there was this flu thing in China, which started when someone drank a bottle of Corona while eating a bat in a remote meat market. But whatever, it was really weird, and anyways, it was a China problem, right? Well, the next thing we know, the borders are being locked down. The virus, formerly known as Corona, was renamed COVID-19 because coronavirus didn't sound scary enough, I guess. And our government officials abruptly shut down businesses, schools, and travel to slow the spread of this deadly and fast-spreading virus. Life as we know it changed instantly, as toilet paper and cleaning equipment became the hottest commodities in town. Parents became school teachers, and our IT consultants became our very best friends. Work consisted of moving from one room to another in our house and sitting through endless Zoom meetings so we could try to hold our businesses together. What the world had hoped would be a short sprint of mask wearing and lockdowns to flatten the curve became a marathon of social isolation, Amazon-delivered baking products, frustrating calls to CenturyLink and Comcast, and hours of Netflix. Fortunately for us, we lived in a state where we could escape by getting outdoors, and our government leaders charted a relatively moderate course of balancing these significant public health risks against the economic devastation caused by these lockdowns. But not everyone was so lucky, which ended up causing a surge of coastal immigrants to our beautiful state last year. Spring turned to summer, summer turned to fall, fall turned to winter, and restrictions on where we could eat, drink, shop, travel, and gather became almost normal, along with most everyone's most important fashion accessory, a mask. Crisis became normalized when we had a presidential election disaster in November, and most of us just shrugged our shoulders and chalked it up to another 2020 plot twist. But in the end, we survived 2020 despite tragically losing loved ones to untimely death, despite being disconnected from friends and family during times of need, despite financial trauma that forced tens of millions onto the unemployment lines, despite facing a barrage of hard decisions about navigating these unprecedented times with our families. We survived 2020 because we came together. We supported each other, and we extended grace when it wasn't warranted. We survived because we turned the other cheek, and we embraced adversity because that's what humans do. We evolve, we adapt, and we learn to thrive in spite of our challenges. And I believe we will continue to do so no matter what challenge we face in this coming year. So thank you again for joining us. And now, without further ado, let's celebrate our friends for the next hour or so. But first, I really want to take an opportunity to thank the chapter's board of directors, our numerous committee members and volunteers, and NAIOP staff for their tireless work last year. I'm impressed by their resilience, professionalism, and dedication to the organization, because without their selfless commitment, the Colorado chapter would not have survived this past year. So I really want to thank all of you for everything that you do. I'd also like to acknowledge our sponsors. During this time of economic uncertainty, we've been comforted, encouraged, and humbled by their outpouring of generosity and continued financial support. A complete list of all the sponsors can be found on the NAIOP website because I cannot remember them all. And we do want to thank everyone for helping NAIOP meet the challenges of this past very challenging year. And finally, before we get started with the awards, let's remember that sadly, the real estate community lost a few of our dear members this past year. Would you please join me in a moment of silence to honor their memory? And now, our first award is the Award of Excellence. This is a tribute to the outgoing NAIOP Colorado president, Tim Schlichting, and it's a heartfelt thank you for his time and effort spent on behalf of the organization. In 2020, the COVID pandemic created unprecedented challenges for Tim and the organization, but he helped guide the chapter to weather the crisis by remaining calm and optimistic. He dared his fellow leaders to embrace the change, helping to create innovative and successful virtual programs. And importantly, he was the driving force behind increasing the chapter's focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, helping to identify initiatives and put leaders in place to advance the chapter's mission to attract and inspire diverse individuals within our industry. Tim was also instrumental in keeping the chapter on solid financial footing by leading fundraising efforts personally and collaborating with our critical sponsor partners. Tim's a thoughtful leader who carefully considers the impact of real estate and policymaking on all people and places, and he consistently challenges his fellow leaders to observe the world around them and to broaden their perspectives. Please join me in congratulating past President Tim Schlichting of Prime West as the 2020 Award of Excellence recipient.
Thank you, Tyler, for those kind words. It was a great honor to lead the chapter in 2020. It was a challenging year, to say the least. I just tried to keep things on the rails. But the real credit goes to the committees and other leadership of NAIOP Colorado. When the year started, as you mentioned, we didn't even know what virtual events, Zoom, or social distancing meant. And yet, through their creativity and persistence, we still provided our membership a very rich programs calendar and represented your interests by remaining active in our public policy efforts while keeping the organization on solid financial footing. So again, thanks to all the many committee volunteers, NAIOP staff, and the board leadership for making me look good. 2021 is off to a great start, and we look forward to an even better year under your leadership, Tyler.
Thanks, Tim. Time will tell, but well-deserved on your award. And Tim, will you help me stay around with this next award, please?
Next, we recognize the 14th Annual Developing Leader Member of the Year and my former mentee, Joe Swenson, with the Opus Group. You could say that development runs in Joe's blood. Growing up the son of a residential developer, he learned valuable relationship and team-building skills on construction sites back east. Since moving west, he has honed these skills and built strong connections with fellow DL members and various stakeholders throughout Metro Denver, including city execs, consultants, and brokers alike. An NAIOP member since 2015, Joe has been a fixture on the DL committee, helping with the mentor program and various events. A former competitive skier, he was uniquely paired to organize the DL's highly popular Skiing with the Icons for the last 4 years. Admired for his keen ability to identify great land sites for development and his ability to bring those projects to reality, our honoree has a bright future in Denver's commercial real estate industry, according to Sean Cummings, VP of Real Estate Development at Opus. Congratulations again to our 2020 Developing Leader of the Year, Joe Swenson with Opus Development.
Thank you, Tim. The Member of the Year Award recognizes outstanding contributions to NAIOP and the commercial real estate community. This contribution is often done behind the scenes and includes hours of selfless work to advance our industry and those who work within it. Our 2020 honoree believes that affability, honesty, and integrity are the cornerstones for developing meaningful personal and professional relationships. These are all traits which our Member of the Year has in abundance and exemplifies in his good character. A NAIOP member since 2005, our honoree has held positions with leading development organizations such as Opus Development, Black Creek Group, Louth, and Prologis. He's also a graduate of the chapter's mentor program in 2009 and come full circle and now provides mentorship for the future leaders of our industry. He encourages young professionals to work hard, be humble, and stay open to new experiences. And as chair of the programs committee in 2020, he proved very adept at embracing the transformation of events to a virtual format. And he helped create some innovative programming such as our highly successful property tour and case study series and the Mind the Development Gap sessions. By leading these efforts, he helped the chapter remain a critical resource for our members during a very difficult time. It's our honor to present the Member of the Year Award to Brian Dietz of Prologis.
Thanks. I'm humbled and honored, and I would just say that my involvement in NAIOP is just one of my favorite things that I've done in my career, and it's been incredibly rewarding. And at times where my career wasn't going so great, it really gave me something to concentrate on and a great group of people to work with. And I would encourage all the membership to get involved, in not just to go to events and go to programs, but to actually get involved and give back to the community. You'll find it invaluable.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. And congratulations. Very well deserved. Let's now welcome Celeste Tanner to present the next award. Celeste?
Thanks, Tyler. Now we present one of today's most distinguished awards, the Sherman R. Miller Trailblazer Award. Our past Trailblazer Award recipients have been recognized for forming entirely new business models, creating new companies, and making major career changes. NAIOP is proud to recognize this year's Sherman R. Miller Trailblazer Award honoree, Whitney Hake of Transwestern. Whitney's pushed the boundaries of tradition and caused a paradigm shift in the way commercial real estate is sold by developing a business model focused heavily on unprecedented marketing tactics. Leaving a secure position with Cushman & Wakefield to form her own team at age 31, Whitney joined Transwestern in 2018 and assembled a group of professionals from varying backgrounds with a shared vision of becoming the prominent leasing team in Denver. By deploying creative, strategic initiatives and harnessing new technologies, Whitney and the Hake Woodward team has delivered extraordinary leasing results to office owners throughout Denver and currently represents a portfolio of over 5 million square feet. Managing Director of Operations for Transwestern's Denver office, Robert Knisley, had this to say about Whitney. Passion is the fuel behind a successful career, and Whitney brings contagious passion each and every day. By always putting her customers first and focusing on results, she delivers a unique and tailored experience. Chip Clark, West Region President at Transwestern, says he's, quote, never met anyone so intent on exceeding their clients' expectations. Whitney genuinely loves what she does and enjoys sharing her passion for Denver and commercial real estate by guest lecturing at DU and frequently speaking at business events throughout the community, sharing her expertise and innovative ideas. As Robert Knisley said, Whitney has an unshakable sense of self and is changing the landscape in commercial real estate. Again, congratulations to this year's Sherman R. Miller Trailblazer Award recipient, Whitney Hake of Transwestern. Back to you, Tyler.
Thanks, Celeste, and big congratulations, Whitney. That's amazing. Now let's welcome our next presenters, Leanne Fowler and NAIOP President-elect Ian Nichols.
Thank you, Tyler. The growth of e-commerce and peak in home sales proved to be a positive trend of the pandemic, increasing the demand and price of industrial and residential land in 2020. As the land and industrial markets remain the darling of real estate, the Front Range from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs continues to see strong interest from national investors. No one knows that better than our Land Broker of the Year finalist. Our second runner-up is the team of Eric Roth and Martin Roth with CBRE. Our first runner-up is Mike Cabuti and Jim Capisalatro with Cushman & Wakefield. And the award goes to Chris Cohen of Newmark.
Congratulations, Chris. Despite the havoc caused by the pandemic, multifamily development continued to show resiliency, with many projects delivering on time and within budget for 2020. Let's hear about our multifamily development finalists.
Hi, my name is Jarvie Worcester. I'm the Managing Director for Trailblazer Residential. Today we're at Election Julian at the corner of 38th and Julian in the West Highland neighborhood of Denver. The neighborhood surrounding Election Julian is in high demand for a Denver suburb. It provides residents with walkable streets, nightlife, restaurants, retail. The amenities here at the Election Julian include pool and jacuzzis, outdoor kitchen and grilling areas, areas for residents to work from home, which has obviously been in favor of late, fitness center, rooftop deck with views of the cities and the Front Range of Colorado. I would say the biggest challenge we faced on this project was all things COVID related. Having to add another layer of project safety was definitely a challenge, something we hadn't encountered previously. Despite that, a success of the project is we were able to finish on budget, ahead of schedule, and deliver resident occupancy when expected. Speaking about the retail here at Election, we expected to have a really big challenge amidst COVID. We ended up signing 2 of the 3 leases just 2 weeks ago. We've got a mix of tenant base here. We have a bank, US Bank is one of our tenants. F45 is a fitness studio, as well as Options Denver, which is a high-end med spa that will really provide amenities to our residents, but also to neighbors within the area. A surprising fact that people may not know about this project is while Trailblazer Residential is largely a merchant builder, this project is held in our long-term hold fund. So the Crow family, amongst other investors in that fund, will own this property for 30 years, maybe more. If we win this award, it would be really special recognition for us. We don't typically aim for awards on projects. We aim to provide outstanding resident experiences, but the acknowledgement from an organization like NAIOP would be really special.
This is Scott Menifee with Holland Partner Group. I'm the Senior Director of Development. We are standing at the Neon Local, our newest multifamily and retail project in Denver at 99 South Broadway. One of the things that was really important for us at Neon Local was being authentic and fitting in the neighborhood. And there used to be a credit union here. We salvaged the safe deposit boxes to reuse them in our room that we call the Vault, which is our large conference room. We also used local art throughout the project. We work with our art coordinator, 9 Arts, and all the art that is located throughout the building has been chosen by us, and 9 Arts is all local artists. We wanted to be part of the community. The biggest success that really surprised us was the retail activity that we've been generating. We were very concerned when COVID-19 hit that retail activity would stop, but instead we've already signed 2 tenants and we're very close to signing our 3rd and having really good action on the retail in this location. Just demonstrates how valid this submarket is. Neon Local was a challenging project. I think everybody's project last year was challenging due to COVID-19. We were able to finish on time and on budget. The City of Denver was a great partner on its inspections. The Holland construction team did an amazing job of finishing the project on time and on schedule, but it wasn't without an incredible amount of challenges that were met every single day by the team. There are a couple surprising facts about Neon Local that the general public wouldn't pick up on initially. One, sustainability is one of our key corporate values, and as of last week, Neon Local achieved a LEED Gold for Homes rating. And so I think even though it's a fun, playful building, it is also a very sustainable and enviro-friendly building. And then the other one that we get from people when they tour is, where is all the parking? And we're standing above almost an entire block of one level of parking. And we were able to do that because the site needed to be excavated because of the contaminated soils as well as the non-stable soils that were below us. And that enabled us to fit in the neighborhood with only 3 stories, but maximize the density on the site by parking everything below. It is an honor to be accepted as a finalist and even compete for the NAIOP Multifamily Awards. NAIOP is a very important part of our real estate community and does a tremendous amount of good for all of those in the development, construction, and brokerage community.
I'm Patty Schwader. I'm Senior Vice President and Chief Corporate Responsibility for Air Communities and AIMCO. And we're here today at our beautiful Park Mosaic project in Boulder, Colorado. It is right in the middle of a giant job center with Ball Aerospace and Boulder Community Health across the street, close to Google and near transportation. Park Mosaic has 226 units, and this is an interesting property because there are 13 different floor plans, from studios to one bedrooms to two bedrooms to penthouses to townhomes. And one of the things we talked about with the City of Boulder is there's sort of something for everybody.
The words I would use to describe this project are transformative, connected, innovative, and sustainable. Park Mosaic is transformative in that we took an existing 1970s property that was a village in a parking lot, and we flipped that and we created a village in a landscape.
Park Mosaic was built uniquely for Boulder. We might not build this anywhere else. We talked to our neighbors, the city, and it has things you wouldn't find anywhere. A 45-foot climbing wall, a Zen garden, indoor-outdoor saltwater pool where people are in during the winter and the summer, of course, as well. Outdoor gardens, underground parking, a ski room, a bike room, many, many community spaces where people can enjoy life, enjoy the Boulder view. There's spectacular views here, and enjoy being together in this terrific community.
One of the surprising facts about Park Mosaic is that we knew we had a great project all along. And when the project was finished, we were actually contacted by the City of Boulder planning and development staff because they wanted to bring their staff on site and tour them through the property as an example of how they would like to see development moving forward. Being recognized by NAIOP would be a true honor to be recognized by our peers, not only in the multifamily space, but in the commercial and multifamily real estate sector at large.
It's always nice to be recognized by your peers, and to be a NAIOP finalist is doubly wonderful to be in our community and to have such an innovative project with so many other great projects.
Please welcome our multifamily development finalists joining us virtually to include the Alexa and Julian, developed by Trammel Crow Residential, Neon Local, developed by Holland Partner Group, and Park Mosaic Apartment Homes, developed by AIMCO, Air Communities, and Triba Architects. The multifamily development of the year goes to Park Mosaic.
Congratulations to everyone at Air Communities and Triba Architects.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. We're thrilled, excited, in fact, speechless since the mic didn't turn on. On behalf of AIMCO, Air Communities, and Triba Architects, and our many, many partners in this project, we are thrilled to accept this award. We're proud that Unique Project has been recognized by you, our peers, and even more proud and excited that many, many residents have found a beautiful, sustainable, and amenity-rich home at Park Mosaic. Thank you so much for this terrific honor.
Congratulations again to Air Communities and Triba Architects for a beautiful project. While the multifamily market recorded mixed performance in 2020, Denver's apartment and investment markets rebounded better than most major cities. Our finalists in this category completed more than $2.5 billion in total sales volume. Finalists for the Multifamily Broker of the Year include the first runner-up team of Dan Woodward, David Potarf, and Matt Burnett of CBRE. And the Multifamily Broker of the Year award goes to Shane Osment and Terrence Hunt of Newmark.
Congratulations, Shane and Terrence. Our next award is for the capital markets transaction. This award recognizes the vital flow of capital that is needed within our industry and our members' creativity and ingenuity in the face of an ever-complex financing environment. Our first finalist is CBRE and their work on the Economist Acquisition Financing, which utilized an iStar ground lease. While an iStar ground lease is a great tool for buyers, giving them the access to low-cost equity and the ability to compete at a higher purchase price, it does pose specific risks, challenges, and many lenders will not entertain the structure at all. Although Fannie Mae and multiple lenders passed on the opportunity, CBRE was able to successfully facilitate an extensive legal discussion between Freddie Mac's counsel, iStar, and the Borrowers Council to ensure all parties were satisfied and their interests protected, ultimately allowing the buyer to win a highly competitive bid to purchase the asset. Our next finalist is the sale of Enterprise Business Center, Building 6 by United Properties. While the sale of the building was a simple structure, all cash buyer, the timing of the sale coincided with the historic pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, the building was considered an extremely attractive asset. However, the pandemic caused panic and equity was scarce. To overcome this, United Properties and their CBR sales team went beyond the typical norms to sell the asset by not only buying the land, building and leasing the building, but selling at a record price to Zurich Alternative Asset Management without any financing, as this project is part of Zurich's core fund and will be owned all cash on a long-term hold. Our final nominee is the construction financing of the X Company's XD2 community by JLL. The XD2 development is a pioneering concept which includes a co-living multifamily asset that is and has 20,000 square feet of commercial space and virtually no parking. JLL was successful in marketing this high-level construction financing request to over 100 lenders during the peak of the global pandemic and was able to source terms more favorable than those previously and close the transaction in less than 2 months. This year's Capital Markets Transaction of the Year award goes to XD2 and JLL Capital Markets. Congratulations to Eric Tupler, Josh Simon, Will Haas, and Christopher Peck with JLL on a job well done. And now I'll turn it back to Tyler.
Thanks, Ian and Leanne. Now let's welcome our next presenters, Caitlin Quander and Brian Dietz.
Thanks so much, Tyler. From an e-commerce facility to combined manufacturing and office projects, this year's Industrial Development of the Year entries push the boundaries of design and creativity. Let's have a look at the nominees.
Hi, I'm Dylan Tomlin. I'm with Suncat Property Group.
And I'm Jason Summers, Project Director with Brinkman Constructors.
And I'm Eric Hartzell, Senior Project Manager with Brinkman Constructors, and I was in charge of managing the Karcher North American Headquarters project. Karcher North America is located due south of Denver International Airport in the Porteos development. It is a 275,000 square foot warehouse adjacent a 100,000 square foot office building. Karcher is a company that's based out of Germany, and it's the world's leading provider of efficient, resource-conserving cleaning systems.
You know, some of the biggest challenges we had was finding the right design of the facility in order to meet the needs of the tenant requirements as well as meet the requirements of the city of Aurora.
Some of the unique features of the Karcher North American project are a 3-story office space that's adjacent what's considered an unlimited warehouse space. So we had to get creative with our design team to present a podium concept and make that 3-story plan work with the Karcher program. It also has a full-service cafeteria commercial kitchen in it.
An extension of the Brinkman brand, there's a few that come to mind. I think the one that I would focus on here would be advocacy, from pre-construction through, as we started design, through the construction process and even post-construction. I think everybody on the team really focused on let's find the right solution for the project, for Karcher, to ensure we have a successful project for everyone.
It was fun bringing such a broad group of individuals from different cultures, different languages, different past experiences all together and bring a really successful project across the finish line. This stands for everything that Colorado and Aurora is working towards to show an international client that Aurora is the place in North America that you want to come and do business.
Well, it's an honor to be nominated, first of all, but I think for us what it does is just it reinforces that the relationships and projects that we are a part of have a positive impact on our community.
I'm Larry Pabota with the Opus Group.
And I'm Sean Cummings. Today we're talking about North Washington Commerce Center, which is a 151,000 square foot industrial building. Considering the Denver business landscape, it was really important for us to work really closely and in collaboration with the city of Thornton. We built a really good relationship with them, and they were sensitive to all the things you might imagine. So traffic was a big consideration given the number of vans. We had residential across the street to the north, both multifamily and single-family residential. And so we ended up redesigning a significantly tall berm in front of the building to screen the line of sight from the residential to the north. On the building itself, the city wanted to make sure we maintain the aesthetic of the building, so working closely with our architect and the city to get the design just right so that the roll-up doors really blend in. It was really a good, I think, collaboration between the client and the city.
One of the unexpected surprises through the project was the loss of Susan Stanton. Susan was one of our close advisors on the project, and she had added immeasurable value throughout the process with the city, with the client, and with us. So her loss was felt considerably by us. The last thing I would add is simply that the client is thrilled with the project, which is the most important feedback that we can receive on our work. We delivered the project on time and on budget. When I think of the Opus brand and how this project reflects, certainly the measure of collaboration that Sean discussed with both the city of Thornton and the neighbors, that's an approach that Opus takes on every one of its projects to make sure we're mindful of the entire community, how this project is going to fit with the fabric of the community. The continuous learning as well, as we mentioned and as we discussed, COVID was an unexpected issue that we all had to deal with in our entire industry. But bringing those practices to the project site every day really reinforced this opportunity for all of our employees and our colleagues.
I'm Cameron Bertrand, and I work for Enviro Finance Group, and we are the developer on the project, True Style Doors and Marvin Windows headquarters and Denver production plant. Production plant is located in North Denver in unincorporated Adams County on 71st Street. It is a combined office manufacturing facility.
My name is Scott Schmidt. I'm the CEO of True Style Doors. We're a manufacturer of made-to-order doors. We make doors that typically go in houses that have a construction cost of about $1 million and up. And one of the things we do is we do a lot of entertaining of customers, and those customers are dealers, they're architects, they're interior designers, and they're builders. And it's quite common for them to fly from all over the country and visit us. And so the headquarters itself, the office has to reflect what we bring to the market, which is beautiful design.
The building itself is got a 50,000 square foot office component broken out into 2 stories, and then about 215,000 square feet of manufacturing production. If you add in all the mezzanines and the boiler building and all of that, you get a building that all in is about 280,000 square feet.
This is a very, very green manufacturing facility. Our product is already recycled. And then, as you might imagine, we create a lot of sawdust when we make doors. And so we're recycling that sawdust again by burning it in what's called a biomass boiler system. Burns the sawdust, we create hot water with the heat, and then that hot water is used to heat and cool the building. And then the other thing is we have a 1.5 megawatt solar array.
One thing that might surprise people is that the manufacturing floor itself is air conditioned. And that was a conscious decision on the part of Marvin to help attract and keep manufacturing employees. That's pretty rare in Denver, and it was also made possible because of the biomass boiler and the chiller system, because we had the fuel to both heat and cool year-round in a sustainable way.
And then here in the office, we have a nice cafe for everybody to take a break, and what's really unique about it is we created an outdoor space from the cafe onto an outdoor patio, which is on the southeast corner of the building where we get a lot of sunshine.
For Enviro Finance to be recognized as a finalist is obviously a great honor. We don't build a ton of buildings. We're a brownfield developer. That's how we came to this site, because this site was a brownfield to start with. It is super fun to be acknowledged for what I think is a unique standout project.
Please welcome our industrial development finalists, to include Karcher North American, developed by SunCap Property Group and Brinkman Constructors, North Washington Commerce Center, developed by the Opus Group, and True Style Doors, developed by True Style and Enviro Finance Group. And the industrial development of the year goes to True Style Doors.
Hey, thanks everybody. On behalf of the entire project team, Ware Malcolm, True Style, Ryan Companies, SB Clark, and about a dozen others, we just wanted to say congratulations to the other members in this category. It was a great year, and it's always great to see quality development happening in Denver. We'd like to give a big shout out to Adams County, without whom this complicated building couldn't have been done, and thanks to NAIOP for recognizing the effort here.
Congratulations everyone at True Style and Enviro Finance Group. Our nominees for Industrial Broker of the Year are comprised of the leading producers in what continues to be a favorite asset class for investors. In total, our nominees represented over $2 billion in leasing and sales consideration for 2020. The team finalists for the Industrial Broker category include second runner-up team of Tyler Reed, Peter Bug, and Dominic DeOrio with Stream Realty Partners. The first runner-up is Jeremy Kroner and Sarah Joan Rutholz of CBRE. And this year's Top Industrial Team of the Year award goes to Tyler Karner and Jeremy Ballinger with CBRE. And now the individual finalists for Industrial Broker of the Year include Todd Whitty, CBRE, Mike Wafer, Newmark. Our second runner-up is Drew McManus of Cushman & Wakefield. The first runner-up is TJ Smith of Colliers International, and celebrating his 21st win, this year's Top Industrial Broker of the Year is Jim Bolt of CBRE.
Congratulations again to Jim, Tyler, and Jeremy. This year's nominees for Retail Development of the Year include a revitalized shopping center in Aurora, Metro Denver's hottest new food hall, and a mixed-use project located in a picturesque mountain town. Let's have a look at the nominees.
My name is Sid Squirrel. I am with Bray Commercial in Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm the commercial broker for this project. This is a brand new city market anchored strip center in Carbondale, Colorado. It's a large, full-size city market, 65,000 square feet with a 10,000 square foot strip center attached to City Market. Well, Carbondale is sitting right between Glenwood Springs and Aspen, and it sits at the edge of the San Juan Mountains and Mount Sopris. And so the views around this area is amazing, along with the Roaring Fork River that goes right beside it. Carbondale is just a small, nice little town, local, more of a bedroom community for servicing the Aspen area. You're going to have a lumber yard, a grocery store, new gas, and a 10,000 square foot strip center providing services and restaurants and retail to the community, along with 115 new dwellings that are going to be built in and around this project. Something that popped up right as we were starting the construction, we discovered that unbeknownst to us, we had school property. Colorado Rocky Mountain School was adjacent to this shopping center. You can't be within 500 feet of school property. While the school building and school facilities are a long ways away, their property, which was given to them or donated to them years ago, butts right up to this property. And so we weren't able to have a liquor license. And it took quite a bit of maneuvering to get the city and the state convinced that it'd be okay so that we could have on-premise alcohol consumption. So that worked out really well. It's a great honor. We kind of get ignored on the Western Slope. It is the wild side, but it isn't the mostly densely populated side either. So I think it's a great opportunity for the Front Range to see what we're doing over here on this side of the mountain and just, get exposure that we're building really nice projects as well over here too.
My name's Scott Caldwell, Senior Vice President for Lincoln Property Company. We're standing in the Junction Food and Drink Food Hall at Colorado Center, which is at 2000 South Colorado Boulevard, I-25 in Colorado. Colorado Center is a mixed-use project, consists of roughly 800,000 square feet of office space, 120,000 feet of entertainment retail, situated right on the Colorado Station light rail stop. Junction Food and Drink was created as an amenity, I think, really for this project. Having a quality food offering in a food hall sort of setting is a unique opportunity. We felt like that would fit well with the project. Food halls are tricky. It's not a big project. It's relatively small. It's 12,000 square feet. But we built basically 10 restaurants under one roof. We really set out to do something high quality and unique. We hired the best architect we could find in town with Tribal Architects. And we hired what we found was the best interiors architect on the East Coast who does nothing but food halls, and Eimer Architects. And I think the draw here in a lot of ways is location. I think companies are able to come and attract labor force to this location because it's really 15, 20 minutes from everywhere. I think the Junction, as an extension of the brand, I think really Colorado Center in general is an evolving brand. Historically, you look at our project and people say, well, where is that? And they say, well, it's the big project by Dave & Buster's in the theater. And so what we're trying to do is create the brand of Colorado Center. And it's one of uniqueness. I think it's a quality brand and one that's amenitized. And it could be a live, work, play community. That's really what we're striving for. If you look at the food vendors that are here, it's brand name chefs. Troy Guard's doing tacos, as an example. Our sushi's run by a chef that came from Sushi Den. I think if you look around at these vendors, these are top-notch quality chefs. The recognition from NAIOP would be tremendous. It's a really reputable organization made up of our peers. And again, this is a little bitty project, but I think it was a risk we took to deliver a food hall during COVID in 2020. And so I think it'd be a validator for what we did, and it'd be a huge honor.
Hi, my name is Tony Santo. I am one of the directors of construction for Kimco Realty Corporation. Village on the Park is one of our centers that we have recently completed a major redevelopment on. It is located within the Havana Retail District in Aurora. One of the things we've tried to accomplish there at Village on the Park is to make it accessible, convenient, welcoming, as well as maintaining it as a community-oriented shopping center. It was our desire and goal to make it easily accessible with an enhanced footprint and modernized facades. Village on the Park is now able to attract a unique and diverse mix of tenants such as Old Navy, Five Below, Share Tea, First Watch, as well as several local and ethnic restaurants. Kimco is highly committed to reducing our carbon footprint and being good stewards to the environment. So at Village on the Park, we've instituted many of our environmental friendly programs, such as smart irrigation controllers to prevent overwatering of the landscape. All of our parking lot exterior building lighting is on LEDs to improve the efficiencies. And most particularly there at Village on the Park for the Phase 3 building, we actually have a subterranean stormwater system that holds rainwater on site, allows the sediment to settle, and then slowly releases the water down into the city's system. It would be a great honor for us to receive an award of achievement from NAIOP. To have our redevelopment efforts acknowledged externally is truly a benefit to the communities we serve, and we would be a great sense of pride for us as a company.
Again, the finalists for Retail Development of the Year include Carbondale Marketplace, developed by MSP Development Group; Junction Food and Drink, developed by Lincoln Property Company; and Village on the Park, developed by Kimco Realty Corporation. And the Retail Development of the Year award goes to Junction Food and Drink.
Wow. Thank you very much. Just a big shout out to NAIOP. Thank you so much for this award. It's a tremendous honor. We had a great team. I think it was a risky venture we set out to do. I think it turned out terrific, particularly in the climate that we tried to build it. Again, the team was terrific. Tribal Architects was wonderful. Designing a building in a constrained geographical footprint. We hired a terrific architect out of the East Coast, Eimer Architects, to do the interiors. That really specializes in food halls, and I think it turned out terrific. We have a great operator, Pat Garza and Yasser and their team at Food Hall Solutions. Really curated some terrific vendors, and I think the food quality is fantastic, and I think the neighborhood's seen that already. Big thanks to the city of Denver too. I think anytime you're trying to go through inspections and permitting during the time we did in COVID, they were very responsive and able us to get it done. So big shout out to Denver. Again, really appreciate this honor, and it's a privilege. Thanks.
Congratulations to Scott and everyone at Lincoln Property Company. While Metro Denver's shopping center vacancy rates soared to over 7.4% in 2020, there's optimism that retail is poised to experience some growth as workers return to the office. Despite these setbacks, our broker finalists continue to get deals done in 2020. Our finalists all hail from CBRE and are recurrent top contenders. Our first runner-up is Matthew DeBartolomeus, and celebrating his 10th win, this year's Retail Broker of the Year is John Weisiger.
Congratulations, John. Innovative developments, by their very nature, feature new methods, advanced designs, original ideas, and creative thinking. Let's learn how this year's innovative project finalists embraced wellness, efficient design, and diverse partnerships to deliver truly inspired projects.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilden with Zeppelin Development. I've been the project manager on this project called Cabin for the last few years. We're at 31st Street in the River North neighborhood. Cabin is a 194-unit apartment building made up of primarily one-bedroom units. Those units are about 420 square feet each. So a few of the innovative features as part of the Cabin project inside of the building include the glass garage doors, a really focused design in the kitchen that lends itself well to combining the living room and kitchen together. We also were very intentional about finding storage space, so taking advantage not of just the floor plate, but also the volume of the space so that we can provide storage solutions for these smaller units. It was really a pleasure to work with a design team really led by women as part of this project. Melissa Ford with Barker Rinker CCAT acted as the architect of record and was able to assist from concept all the way through construction and even during this warranty process. The second woman that was involved with the design process worked for Dina Architects. Erica was instrumental in coming up with some of the more innovative design solutions on some of the interiors, and both of them worked collaboratively together throughout the project to deliver something pretty special. Cabin is an extension of the Zeppelin brand in a few different ways. First and foremost, innovative in design. We always are looking for ways to do things a little bit differently, test some new ideas, and have that really grounded in areas of the market that we see are a little underserved. This project really works great for a young professional demographic. It hits a price point that works well for that demographic as well. And that really keeps with, the legacy of Zeppelin development for over 45 years, really trying to push the envelope with design and really bringing the market to a new product type.
Hi, my name is Brian Levitt. I'm with Nava Real Estate Development, and today we're welcoming you to Lake House. We're here just west of downtown, just over 2 miles on the south shore of Sloan Lake. Lake House is a whole city block. It's 196 condo units plus retail on the ground floor. Lake House is innovative just because it really embraced its surroundings. Again, Lake House being on the south shore of Sloan Lake is really amazing in terms of the opportunity to express that in architecture, in terms of amenities like outdoor decks and fireplaces, and obviously being across the street from a park with views of the mountains really embraced the concept of wellness. Lake House was the first registered project to pursue well in the state of Colorado. What that means in terms of typical infrastructure, air, light, and water, the air is ultra purified. It passes through a MERV 13 filter. The water is already great in the state of Colorado, but we help people have greater access to juicing centers or more hydration throughout the building. And then in terms of light, 55% of the building is glass, so a lot of natural light. And we have special shading also, including blackout shades in the bedrooms to help them sleep at night. Beyond that, the fun opportunities are to grow food. So we have our own urban farm that you'll see. Try to get people as active as possible. So we have a yoga center, a fitness lab, get people on kayaks, and we have a tennis ball machine, and we have an art room and music instruments. There's really kind of endless activities here. This building is the product of an amazing team. So we had a lot of great partners. We started our own nonprofit called Real Well. And it enabled us, I think, to bring in people from the healthcare business, people who focus on wellness, who don't really think about real estate. And that intersection was somewhat turbulent at first, but I think through that collaboration, I think we realized, by helping people make healthy choices, perhaps you can change people's lives. We're a newer company. This is definitely our first really big premier project. And, we're just really appreciative to be in the mix of the finalists. We put our passion and soul into the project. And we hope it resonates with the community. So obviously that recognition would be amazing.
Joining us virtually, please welcome the innovative finalists, to include Cabin, developed by Zeppelin Development, and Lake House, developed by Nava Real Estate Development. And the innovative project of the year goes to Lake House.
Awesome. Well, thank you, NAIOP. It's amazing. To be recognized by your peers is the ultimate recognition. So we put our heart and soul in this project over a 6-year period, and to see it come to life and to have people appreciate it is nothing short of magical. So absolutely, I want to thank everyone at NAIOP for the recognition and all the support and the nomination. Thank my wonderful team, Trevor, Sarah, Dave, James, Mike, and Rachel. Our incredible partners, Stantec, Munoz Alban, GH Phipps, Delos, and so many others. And just thanks. It's going to be a wonderful wave of inspiration we can ride going forward. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone at Nava Real Estate Development and Lake House. The Community Impact Award recognizes an important project that had dramatic and positive impact on the community. We are fortunate that there are 2 such projects that were developed in 2020. Let's have a look at this year's finalists for the Community Impact Award.
Hey, Chris Spelke, Senior Developer at Denver Housing Authority. We are at Vita at Sloan's Lake, and this is at the corner of Perry and West Colfax. The 4 words I would use to describe Vita at Sloan's Lake would be innovative, challenging, partnership, and community. 176 units of senior disabled housing. So what we call for really people that are on fixed incomes, very low income, about $12,000 a year or less. and that's 62 and older or have a medical disability or physical disability. And then on the ground floor, we have about 25,000 square feet of really a synergistic use of healthcare services, from Centura Health, primary healthcare, Fresenius is a dialysis kidney treatment, and then where we're standing right now is really a expansion of what we've tried to do with this integration of health and housing. Yeah, so I think that really where DHA took a next step in trying to, this idea of equitable amenities, right? That everyone deserves this great view and give people a space that they can, find their own, serenity, if you will. But also have a space that we can have events and celebrate when someone's turning 70 and have a birthday party. There's also a community garden, so the idea of like having over here a communal kitchen, we have Cooking Matters that teaches our residents, here's what you just grew up on the roof, this is how you can cook it, and really kind of bring it full circle. There's all different forms of public-private partnerships, and I think here, by using this planned community structure, and really was for under Kiowa for smaller commercial projects, now we've kind of unlocked this secret of you can look at multifamily as one owner, and so a small planned community unit can close all the financing at one point in time. And for our case, we can leverage more resources, more competitive resources, the 9% credits, the 4% credits, and new markets all at the same time. There's a lot of things I'm proud of about this project. It was this step further in a connection of health and housing. I'd really like to challenge our industry, and really the whole industry, to look at projects like this that take a little more creativity, a little more brain damage, but is right for that neighborhood or that location. To bring these services and to bring, different community benefiting assets into our built environment.
My name is Tyler Downs. I'm founder and principal of Wazi Partners based in Denver. And we're here at the West 38 Apartments in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, along 38th Avenue, and hopefully the start of the first project on Wheat Ridge, their city's Main Street. This is the first new multifamily market rate project in the city of Wheat Ridge in over 28 years. It's also the first truly mixed-use project with retail and multifamily housing ever in the city of Wheat Ridge, and it's also the first structured parking project in the city of Wheat Ridge. And it's the first project that will anchor the city's redevelopment effort to create a main street along 38th Avenue. The location of the project being so close to the major employment centers downtown, but also the recreational opportunities in the foothills have made it a really nice fit for a lot of people, not only who live in Colorado already, but who are moving from other places who want that Colorado lifestyle. I think secondly, we've taken great pains to make the amenities in the community in line with a Class A first-rate project that you'd see in downtown Denver. But here we are on 38th Avenue in Wheat Ridge. We also understand that we have more of a suburban renter, and so we were careful to make the apartment units themselves larger, with balconies, lots of outdoor spaces, so that people felt that they could be, have a little bit more space and be more suburban oriented. The surprising fact about this project is that it's the site of the former Homer Pearson home, which Homer Pearson was the father of the carnation industry nationwide and was a very important member of the Wheat Ridge community. And so our design reflects some of the carnation-oriented heritage, both from the city of Wheat Ridge and Homer Pearson. Our core philosophy at Wazi Partners is to enhance the communities that we live and work in with quality assets. We want to be proud of the buildings we build because we see them every day. We live in the community, and so this project is no exception.
Again, the nominees for the Community Impact Award include Vita at Sloan's Lake, developed by the Denver Housing Authority, and West 38, developed by Wazi Partners. The Community Impact Award goes to Vita at Sloan's Lake.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Ryan Tobin. I'm the Chief Real Estate Investment Officer at DHA. Chris wasn't able to join us, but really my hat's off to him for years of dedication to get this project over the hill. DHA, we're so excited to be included amongst the peers here at NAIOP and the industry as well. We really think of ourselves as a part of the community in today's day and age, more so than ever, as we serve very low-income individuals and those struggling and in need. And we'll always challenge this industry to take a larger role in helping us be a solution to build a better community that Denver strives to be. And very appreciative and thankful of all the partners across the board. And we're just delighted to be here and be included in such an esteemed group of professionals. So thank you, everybody.
Congratulations to everyone at DHA. Now please welcome to the stage our next presenters, Jessica Ostermick and Brandon Kramer.
This year's finalists for Office Development of the Year delivered over 600,000 square feet of mixed-use office and retail product to the market while facing insurmountable odds in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Let's learn how the finalists overcame obstacles and succeeded in delivering exceptional projects.
I'm Jim Neenan, President and CEO of Prime West, and we're in the lobby of 6900 Layton. A few words that would best describe this project would be light. All the office levels are oversized at 36,000 square feet per floor. There's no columns on the floor other than in the core. So it's wide open floor space for planning purposes. The exterior is all floor-to-ceiling glass, and so when you walk up on the floors, all the tenant spaces are just, they bring in the outside atmosphere indoor right away. It is top of the market in terms of materials. All the systems in the building are absolutely top of the quality level. One of the aspects of the project itself is its location. It's within half a block to the light rail platform here at Bellevue Station, but also walkable amenities. There's restaurants and various retail. We have a fitness facility that is probably larger than anyone you'll see in any office building around. But part of this project that would be an extension of the Prime West brand, it's probably all of it. All the detail in the project, from the mural on the walls in the lobby to the breadth of the project to the quality level of materials. And it is a very strong extension of Prime West and our brand as an office developer. This is the second office tower we've developed in this park. When we kicked off the project, we had a lease opportunity with Newmont Mining Corporation, and we signed a pre-lease with Newmont. And what people don't realize in a pre-lease, it sounds easy, but the challenge is you have very specific dates you have to hit. And so designing the building and getting it through permitting and all the approvals through the city in a very fast timeline was not only a challenge, but then upon delivery, we ran into this small bump in the road called COVID. And we had a number of cases where it shut down the construction activity in the project for a week or two at a time, in a very, very demanding schedule. So we had to pivot, and that was probably the biggest challenge. Winning the award of achievement for Office Building of the Year would be pretty phenomenal. We've been very blessed and fortunate to win this award 2 times in the last 3 years, and to win it again just really, truly cements our belief that quality office development is absolutely imperative in this marketplace, and we want to be the forefront of it.
My name is Ed Hazelden. I'm the chairman of Hazelden Construction, but I'm also the managing partner for Rev 360. And we're standing here this morning in the lobby of Rev 360, a brand new Class A office building located in Rhino. It's a state-of-the-art office building that reflects all of the energies and synergies that you find here in Rhino, which is one of the hottest areas in the entire country, much less downtown Denver. Words that we would use, and we did use during the design process, were futuristic, revolutionary, which is why we decided to name the building Rev 360, and a term that we coined for Rhino, and that's sophisticated grunge. Our desire was to really focus on the past of Rhino, the artwork of Rhino, the edginess of Rhino, and bring that into the modern day with a new building and incorporate some of the edgier finishes, but with an element of sophistication that today's tenants really want to see. This building has amenities including full-time concierge, an amazing parking ratio, 4 per 1,000, which is generally only found in suburban office buildings, certainly health facilities, integrated restaurants and coffee shops that are activating the lobby. We also, when we designed the project, realized that a lot of tenants were wanting to bring the outdoors in during their work experience. And so there's an extraordinary amount of outdoor balconies on every single floor for that experience to occur with the tenants. As we discovered with COVID, people are really, really interested in air quality, indoor air quality, and this project was designed from the onset to have the highest standards of air quality and follow all of the ASHRAE standards. If this project were to be named the NAIOP Awards winner for this year, it would be the culmination for a lot of hard work for a lot of people. And it's certainly not just me. I have 3 or 4 other partners in our general partnership team. We have numerous friends and family that are limited partners with us. We have hundreds of people in the design and the property management and on the construction teams that worked hard to bring this project to life and to build it on time and on budget and to deliver it, despite the issues of the pandemic. It would just be an extraordinary honor to all of those people who worked so hard to make this project a reality to win this award.
The finalists for the Office Development of the Year Award include 6900 Layton, developed by Prime West, and Rev 360, developed by Hazelden. And the Office Development of the Year Award goes to 6900 Layton. Congratulations. Congratulations, Prime West, and we're actually joined by Prime West today, so we will have a live celebration with them here in just a minute.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks to everyone with NAIOP. This is a fantastic award. Prime West has been fortunate enough to be in this award category a few times the past few years. We're very thankful to be a part of it. Congratulations to the other finalists, Rev 360. It's a fantastic project. All of our projects, everyone knows that it really is the partnership of all of the players that really come into the team for each project. And so for this one in particular, I'd like to thank Partners Group, the White's Company, Gensler, Front Range Land and Development, U.S. Bank who helped finance it. Thanks to everyone. Appreciate it.
Congratulations to Jim and everyone at Prime West. In 2020, Denver's office market saw the first year and consecutive quarters of negative absorption over the last 44 quarters. However, Denver remains a popular destination for people locating from other major U.S. cities, and the continued job and population growth is expected to lead to more stability in the market. This year's broker finalists were forced to quickly adapt their business in 2020 to remain leaders in the industry. Our finalists for Office Broker of the Year include the JLL team of Kenneth Gooden, Eric Bernstad, and David Shirazi. Nicholas Pavlakovich, Cushman & Wakefield. Steve Billigmeyer, Cushman & Wakefield. Todd Wheeler, Cushman & Wakefield. And the CBRE team of Doug Bakke, Ty Ritchie, Todd Papazian, Lee Diamond, and Melanie Fontenot. This year's Office Broker of the Year Individual Award goes to Todd Wheeler with Cushman & Wakefield. And the top Office Broker Team of the Year goes to Doug Bakke, Ty Ritchie, Todd Papazian, Lee Diamond, and Melanie Fontenot with CBRE. Back to you, Jessica.
Thanks, Brandon. Congratulations to all of our Office Broker honorees. While annual investment activity declined in 2020, property sales in Q4 actually outpaced the first 9 months of the year. The 6 finalists in this category together completed $3.7 billion in sales last year. The finalists for Investment Broker Award include Campbell Davis, CBRE, the CBRE team of Monica Wiley and Jeff Wood, and Patrick Devereaux of CBRE. Our second runner-up is Ricky Hashimoto with Newmark. The first runner-up is Matt Hendricks of CBRE. And the Investment Broker of the Year award goes to the fabulous team of Tim Ritchie, Jenny Knowlton, Charlie Will, and Chad Flynn from CBRE.
Congratulations, Tim, Jenny, Charlie, and Chad. It's now my honor to recognize one of the most important awards of the night, Development Deal of the Year. This award is reserved for those projects whose complexity, size, and economic impact put them into a category all their own. The honoree for this year's Deal of the Year showed creativity in design and collaboration when they met the challenge in 2015 of reintegrating the 26-acre site of the former University of Colorado Health and Sciences Center into the surrounding neighborhood fabric. In just a few short years, a vibrant new neighborhood has emerged. This year's Development Deal of the Year goes to NAIOP, owned and developed by Continuum Partners and CIM Group. Let's take a look.
My name is Frank Cannon. I am Development Director with Continuum Partners, and we are standing at the 9th and Colorado project we refer to as NAIOP, the former University of Colorado Health Sciences Center located at 9th and Colorado. We acquired the property in January of 2015 and have owned it for 6 years and created an entirely new neighborhood. We started demolition in February of 2015. We had to demolish nearly 2.5 million square feet of buildings that were here. We brought in Coble and Mile High Development. We contributed the land, and they delivered a little over 100 units of affordable housing as the first project in the neighborhood. Today, the NAIOP project entails a little over 900 residential units, ranging from affordable housing to active adult community to market and luxury rate apartments to for sale condominium townhome projects. We have almost 200,000 square feet of commercial, which includes 60,000 square feet of office. We have a 40,000 square foot AMC movie theater and lots of variety in restaurants, services, and other retail. Also within the project, we have nearly 4 acres of open space, parks and plazas. The ability for us to have come in and reconnect the neighborhood south, north, east, and west of the site, we've become really part of the neighborhood fabric, which is what we set out to do from the beginning. Although we've been at this at NAIOP for a number of years, this past year has been challenging. You know, the impacts of COVID-19 and the pandemic have made us be more nimble. We've had to pivot, but we've been able to come through this with all of our tenants intact, occupancy rising, and we're really now starting to see the community come out and support the project, which has been fantastic. Continuum has always thought of NAIOP as a tremendous organization, and to be acknowledged as Development of the Year by NAIOP would mean the world to Continuum. The NAIOP project is a project that really set the bar high to address the community's expectations of what the NAIOP project should be. To be acknowledged for having achieved that by NAIOP is something that really builds on the brand of Continuum, and we hope in some part raises the bar for what development our community can actually accomplish and becomes a model for what our peers in this industry really try to do in each of their developments.
Congratulations to the NAIOP team, and accepting the award for Continuum Partners is Mark Falcone and Frank Cannon. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much. I'm Frank Cannon with Continuum Partners, and on behalf of all of us with Continuum, our partner in the development CIM Group, our public partners with the Denver Urban Renewal Authority, all of our design, construction, and brokerage teams, this is a tremendous honor, and we thank you for it. Being recognized by NAIOP as Development of the Year, particularly on a project that is as large a scale and complex with as much history as there is with the University of Colorado Health Sciences Center, is just a tremendous honor. The opportunity to transform this former campus into a brand new neighborhood is an opportunity that you don't get very often in this industry and in this business. So we're thrilled. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the award, and we hope to see you all out at NAIOP. Thanks you.
Congrats again, Frank, and the Continuum partners. It's a truly amazing project. The President's Award is one of NAIOP's most prestigious. Recipients are selected based on a lifetime of significant contribution, not only to our industry, but also for the betterment of our community. This year's very special honoree is the late Susan Stanton. Susan was a longtime friend of mine personally, and a significant contributor to both NAIOP, but also the real estate industry more generally. Susan was an incredibly talented and passionate leader in our region's community and economic development world and real estate scene for more than 25 years. A quintessential connector, Susan brought together people with ideas, resources, and opportunities time and time again throughout the metro area. When I personally heard the news on that terrible day in August that we had lost our dear friend, I was shocked because I had just seen her literally the night before at a family dinner at the Stanley Marketplace. Excuse me. Her family was already there, and they were dining at a newly opened Asian restaurant, Key Lin. When my family walked in, and Susan greeted us as she always did with a warm smile. She was very enthusiastic about the restaurant, and she wanted to share her love for it, and the entrepreneurial owners, Charlene and Robert Ty. And we chatted as usual for a while because Susan loved to chat. And then eventually I extracted myself and we sat down as a family and we started to eat. And before our food showed up, a couple of appetizers just showed up at our table, compliments of the Stantons, because Susan insisted that we try her favorites. You know, this very small personal example of generosity and enthusiasm is just one of many that describes the character of who this woman was, not only as a real estate professional, but as a wife, as a mother, and as a friend. Susan gave back to the industry in many ways and held others up for advancement through her service. You know, she was fiercely committed to supporting female entrepreneurs and specifically encouraged them to seek a career in real estate, and specifically commercial real estate. And her career also led her to both the public and the private sides of the business. She served on the City of Denver Planning Board. She chaired the Brighton Economic Development Corporation and also the Economic Development Council of Colorado. Plus, she supported the business development efforts for CLC Associates, all while running her own consulting company, the Stanton Solution, where she advised real estate owners and developers across the state. Susan was also a two-time grad of the University of Denver, where she graduated with a BA in International Studies and a Master's in Technology Management. And her busy hands literally left fingerprints across this industry, and we're all better off for knowing and working with Susan. As a result, it is my deep and great honor to award the NAIOP Colorado 2020 President's Award to Susan Stanton. May we all live in honor of her legacy. Every time I would always see Susan, she's literally a ray of light. I mean, she was always positive, always had a smile on her face, very gregarious, and that's just who she was, is just a constant ray of light, sunshine wherever she went.
She was incredibly successful and had a huge impact on the projects that she worked on the cities that she worked with, and those will always remain. But to me, her legacy is the other women, people of diversity that she pushed forward to make our industry better.
Her dogged devotion and advocacy for women advancing professionally in general, but in real estate in particular. You know, there aren't as many of us. There certainly aren't as many of women of color doing this work, and so I just really felt that she really saw my potential and helped me see that in myself.
She became this incredible pillar of strength for me to look up to. And she would help me recognize things that maybe I didn't necessarily see before. And she would always push and encourage me to go to the next step, achieve the next level.
She was, operating on a 4-dimensional
chess board every day. And so it starts with that. That was fundamentally what was most significant about Susan Stanton. She was a genius.
Her ability to mentor, I think Susan, she did it in such a great way, because everyone always thinks of mentorship as this like top-down approach, and Susan would connect people and engage with others in a way that said, mentorship is this mutual connection point, and we have to remember how we all benefit from the experience and influences of each other. And I really think she did so well in being able to instill that confidence in those that were younger and coming behind her, but also reminding those that were her peers or even beyond her in expertise and experience to say, we all need to understand and engage with each other in order to find true leadership.
She would instilled confidence in the room, right? I mean, she was just so personable and so gracious and really wise. What I really enjoyed about working with her is that, it was kind of the intersection of her passion for community building and for land use and for social equity, and then this great skill set of bringing people together. She's just the authentic article, in all cases. She's just a wonderful person.
Fairness to all people was certainly embedded in her DNA. I believe it was a passion. She was so intent on words like authenticity and fairness. The impact was that she personally set an example for many, many people that will live on.
Susan's handprints are all over the city, both from a project standpoint and certainly her work with the city on the planning board, and she was at the forefront of a lot of things that I think over the years, not just in this recent past, that we'll look back and say, yeah, Susan was involved in that, or Susan made a change here, or Susan made an introduction there, or not but for Susan, this project or this policy wouldn't have happened.
We're fortunate in Denver to have a lot of really good people that work on important projects, but she was somehow still different. Anytime she would reach out, I always look forward to the conversation because I knew it was going to be something interesting, always going to be challenging, and she would have come to the conversation with a lot of additional thought before she even reached out. So I knew that we were going to start from a place of great insight and thoughtfulness, and always look forward to seeing what she had up her sleeve, what it was she was working on, and how potentially I would be able to work with her.
She was very broad in her exposure, but again, her fingerprints were light in that she wasn't the face. And that's why I think one of the reasons why I personally wanted to nominate her for this award was, it's easy to have Tom Brady win the MVP because everyone knows who Tom Brady is. It's not easy for the lineman or the snapper, or the people or even the trainers and the coaches who do all the work behind the scenes. And she was a really important behind the scenes person that impacted positively so many people's lives and so many projects' lives. And I wanted that to come to the forefront because she deserved it and because of just the great body of work that she had.
Susan, from my perspective, always approached every challenge and every opportunity the right way. She did so with absolute clarity and honesty, and she always wanted to do the right thing by all the parties that were involved.
Community and the various communities that she worked in should be remembered for her passion for getting things done the right way and doing it in a way that would benefit all the parties involved.
Over the last several months, as I thought about, the 10 years that we worked together, I typically you're not honored to have a consultant working on your behalf, but knowing how Susan worked and the relationships that she would build with her clients, I did have that sense of I was honored to be her client, in that, not only did we have an awesome working relationship, but over the last 10 years, that grew into a very close personal friendship.
She placed a bit of herself in so many individuals, and we all recognize that need to connect, that need to, to be supporting one another. And I have no doubt that so many of us are, we're reaching out to each other because it's like, oh, you knew Susan? Okay, that means we should know each other. It's like, if you got that Susan stamp of approval, then we all need to be working together and carrying that legacy forward.
Her reach was just so profound. And I think in times where collaboration is hard, and sometimes people feel challenged to actually come to terms and agree and align, I really think when we're all sitting in a room, Susan's voice is still in the back of our head, and we're remembering that we actually can do this together.
I think her legacy is showing people that in almost any circumstance, there can be a win-win. And I think she was always, she was a positive-minded person, I think she always was looking for both parties to come out victorious. Just because she was happy and positive doesn't mean she was a pushover. I mean, she was a highly intelligent, strategic woman. So, but I think she showed that you can be a happy-go-lucky, positive person and still get stuff done and not be mowed over. And I think that's important, because a lot of people think you have to be a prick to be successful, and you don't. You can be kind and thoughtful and smile at people and still be successful, and I think she certainly was.
She was that person whose insight made a difference, not just mattered, whose insight made a difference, whose insight could change the course of what you were doing.
I think this is a wonderful recognition of Susan's body of work and the individual that she was, and I just hope that everybody who didn't know Susan will take the remarks, myself and others, and just really know how important a person Susan was to our overall community and society. There's just not a better person to have this recognition, and just frankly one of the best people that ever walked amongst us.
Accepting the award on behalf of Susan is David Foster, board member for the Susan Stanton Foundation.
Thanks, Tyler. Obviously, I'm accepting this award on behalf of Susan's husband, Stephen, and her son, Grant, two exceptional people who clearly have felt the loss of Susan even more than all of us. Tyler, I want you to know she hated Tom Brady. And so your reference to Tom Brady and her getting an award that is nothing about Tom Brady probably would make her feel very, very good. She was the ultimate Yenta connector. And I would imagine that anybody who's participating in today's event has a 1 degree separation from Susan Stanton. And if you didn't have a chance to know Susan Stanton, you missed out on one of the most extraordinary people that many of us have ever met or known. In her memory, we have started the Susan E. Stanton Foundation. And one of the most important aspects of the foundation is to help complete her legacy of empowering women in real estate. And so if you are interested in knowing more about the Susan E. Stanton Foundation, anybody at NAIOP, anybody you've seen today, remember, it's 1 degree of separation to Susan Stanton, and we will get you in touch with the foundation. I am honored to be here today, and even more saddened to be here today to accept this on Susan's behalf. Thanks.
Special thanks to David, Stacy Stout, and all of Susan's friends and colleagues for your participation in that very moving tribute. All right, our final award is the Legacy Broker Award, which is created to honor and thank those brokers who have established a high level of achievement and leadership in the industry over their careers and respected by their peers for honesty and ethics. and have shown a willingness to mentor and guide the next generation. Mike Nguyen is the personification of the Legacy Broker Award. With over 35 years of investment sales experience, Mike was a key member of the Nguyen Ritchie team that executed more than $21 billion in transactions and brokered the sale of many of Denver's high-profile assets. Icons of the industry, Mike and his business partner Tim were NAIOP Investment Broker of the Year honorees a record 14 times from 1997 to 2019, and received the Broker Outstanding Achievement Award in 2012. Throughout his career, Mike impacted the lives and careers of numerous individuals through tireless devotion of time, energy, and talent. So let's hear from Mike's former team and longtime partners, Tim Ritchie, Chad Flynn, Jenny Knowlton, and Charlie Will, about the significant role Mike played in their careers and how he continues to serve as a role model for others.
I've been fortunate to be a partner with Mike Nguyen for over 29 years. And our relationship is Mike and I had the opportunity, fortunate luck, and incredible bolt of lightning to meet back in 1990 at Grubb & Ellis and to be introduced to each other via a mutual friend of ours, great real estate guy, Bob Caldwell. And at the time he thought maybe we would be good to work together.
Mike actually hired me 15 years ago. I was lucky enough to land an internship with him and Tim Ritchie, and I never looked back.
When I first joined the team, I knew of him, and everyone I had talked to spoke highly of him. And then since I was able to join him and the team, my respect for him has gone up ever since. So very, very honored to know Mike Nguyen.
I met Mike right out of college. I had no idea what an office investment sale was and convinced him to hire me, and really fortunate to have made that connection and to have worked with Mike for 10 years.
Mike was a great, savvy businessman at heart. And early on, I was a bit of a technician. It was a great marriage. And I think we kind of grew up in the business together. But we both were able to work together extremely hard. And I think we had tremendous success because frankly, at the end of the day, it was all about sort of representing our clients' interests to the very, very best we could.
The question is, what should the audience know about Mike? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that Mike personally would know 90% of the people in the audience, and the only other people that he wouldn't know are people that he hasn't had the chance to meet yet.
He's all about giving back to the industry and dedicating his personal time.
I mean, when Mike cares about something, when he loves something, he does it with his whole heart and does not leave anything on the sidelines. And I had never come across someone like that in my life. And it didn't really matter what it was, whether it was his family, whether it was his job, whether it was something else completely random in life that he is passionate about. When he cares, he does it with everything he has. And it's something that, frankly, I hope one day I can emulate.
I have never met a human being in my entire life that has broken as many bones as Mike has throughout the course of his career.
3 words to describe Mike Nguyen, I would say tenacious, caring, and inspiring.
Fast, ferocious, and funny.
Compassionate, competitive, and incredibly kind.
My 3 words for Mike are, get him, Tiger.
Of all the people I've met in the real estate community, whether it's someone in Denver or someone on the other side of the globe, every single time you mention the name Mike Nguyen, it is always followed with a smile and some kind of positive affirmation of him, some compliment, some great story about a deal they did, a couple years ago or, 20 years ago. I've never once heard anybody say a bad thing about Mike. And, I think just being a female, especially coming up in this industry, he was a great mentor and a great leader for me.
Mike, as everybody that knows him well, just knows how well-spoken he is, how articulate, and it's an amazing thing to watch him just sort of navigate through a conversation and turn just everything into a positive outcome. So he's an incredible deal maker, and that's just kind of scratches the surface on positive experiences we've had and things we could learn from him. At the end of the day, being able to work on this team with Mike Nguyen has just been such an incredible honor for me and has done so many things for me and my family. So I'm very, very appreciative of all that Mike has done.
I just want to say I'm really grateful for the successes we had together and his incredible role in creating that great success for us as a team. And I'm really thankful for that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mike Nguyen, NAIOP Colorado 2020 Legacy Broker winner. Mike?
Thank you for the kind introduction, and it was great to see the videos from my team. I'm sincerely humbled and honored to receive the NAIOP Legacy Broker Award. I'd like to thank the NAIOP Awards Committee for choosing me for this very, very important award. I'd also like to send along a thank you to all my clients that I worked with over the last 41 years. It's been my pleasure to represent each and every one of you during my career. Those relationships and friendships really culminated over 500 transactions, over $21 billion of sales. I built a highly successful team by starting with team culture. Every new team member that I hired to join my team was interviewed by every other team member, and the vote always had to be unanimous. There are no sharp elbows on my team, and brokerage is competitive. I heard this so many times from clients, unsolicited from around the country. I always put the client's needs first. And through all that, my team has maintained a 75% market share, among the highest, if not the highest, in the entire country. Another characteristic of my team that I developed is how to win and lose gracefully. And this works for everybody, not just brokers, investors, developers, architects, engineers, contractors, property managers. Yes, be proud when you win a new assignment or opportunity, but do not gloat. And never, never criticize your client when you lose a piece of business, no matter how hard it is and painful. A couple last thoughts. One is never expect or feel you're entitled to a new opportunity. Another one is under promise and over deliver. I know it sounds simple, but it's easy to forget. Another one is always do what you say you'll do. Same thing, it's easy to forget. Thank you to everybody. One last thing I'd like to say is please stay safe and stay away from the virus. Happy Wednesday.
Congratulations, Mike, and I love the t-shirt. I hope you're pre-gaming for the big storm this weekend. As we conclude our program this afternoon, I want to again congratulate each of our finalists and award winners. I also want to thank the managing brokers who vetted the broker entries and the judges who not only selected the award winners, but conducted site visits to each of the developments nominated. I also hope that our online format this afternoon worked well for you. And please mark your calendars on April 29th for the 19th Annual Rocky Mountain Real Estate Challenge presented by Land Title, featuring Dow Junction. This event will be hosted virtually with some in-person attendance. Please visit the NAIOP Colorado website for more details. If you missed part of today's event, a recording will be available on NAIOP's YouTube page later this week. Thanks again for joining us. Sorry it was a little bit long, and we hope to see you soon in person at a NAIOP event in the coming months. Take care.
Gotta be yourself, gotta be yourself.